Guess who's here to comment? Tammy Bruce, Fox News contributor. There is some rethinking of this morning. We originally thought, well, Nike made a rotten decision to reopen the anthem protest. Surely the stock will go down, and it did. Now we're hearing maybe it was a good decision. Maybe they're appealing to just the right demographic who wants this kind of edgy ad.
Well, that was the thinking, wasn't it? It was this, people thought, and it would be true, that they actually sat down and considered the pros and the cons. One argument is that young people want brands to become involved in social issues. But then that's why you're the adults, right, running a company, is that maybe, young people shouldn't be making that decision. What we can tell you is this. Morning Call is reporting that Nike's favorability dropped across the board, including across their key demographics: white, blacks, boomers, Generation X, millennials, Gen X, Democrats, Republicans, Nike customers, and all adults. Down. Every single demographic down. 25% say that it'll, in fact, make them even consider less likely to watch an NFL game because of the commercial.
Really?
This is a remarkable result. Now, if you're, I suppose, looking at New York and L.A., you're looking at your demographics may like it. But the fact is that there are young athletes, young people, their key demographics, African Americans, people of color, all throughout the country, with different kinds of lives and considerations, the majority of whom love the national anthem. They serve in the nation's military. They are police officers. They understand what keeps their lives safe. And this is not just about the anthem. It's about the pig police socks that Mr. Kavanuagh wore and all of that. So when you're looking at this result, the favorability across the board, double digits down. That perhaps they're looking at an impact that they did not expect.
And that's Nike's favorability rating.
The favorability rating and also purchasing consideration down 10%. 10%. Wow. So we're going to see long-term repercussions of this. Masters of the Universe maybe shouldn't have been looking at polls and should have been thinking about the character of the American people.
Masters of the Universe. Okay, point taken. I've got to ask you about Delaware's Democrat Senator Tom Carper. He did beat his progressive challenger, Kerry Harris, in the Senate primary race there. But Kerry Harris got about 1/3 of the Democrat vote there. That's still quite a lot.
It is, but
he beat her back.
It reminds us that these races, whether it was Eric Cantor or Ocasio-Cortez here, these races are local. A lot of existing, incumbents, Republicans and Democrats, take their constituents for granted and presume that everything is going to be fine. They don't need to knock on doors. People want to hear from candidates. If you go to a door and you knock on it, you talk to people. But it's also up to, like with the Republicans here in New York and many districts, as an example, don't even bother to go to a district. Democrat incumbents don't bother. If you've been in there like Crowley was here for like 20 years, you think everything is set. Hillary took things for granted. Americans care. They want to hear from people. But it's going to be up to Republicans in the midterms to make sure Americans know the difference, what socialism is, what matters for a district.
Well, it's up to the Republicans to get out there and say, look at the economy. I mean, news this morning, we've got a booming economy and a super low unemployment rate. But is that message getting through the media barrage?
Well, look, a lot of these Republican candidates probably watch Fox News, and if you're an informed person, you watch this network, right? Fox Business. But not people are living their lives. They're working their jobs. They're raising their families, and they might not know all the details. They start looking more closely as elections get closer. But the fact is, be engaged. You must be on the ground. The president's doing what he can do, but you've got to go to your constituents. Don't presume because you've been in there for a decade that people are going to know you. In fact, people want change. We've seen with Donald Trump, change has brought good things. But that's not every change. It's the conservative ideal, and it's the Trump approach, and that's what candidates need to be aware of.
While we've got you on the set, did you see Paul Krugman's article in the New York Times today?
I did.
Okay, well, before we get into that, I want to tell the audience what he's been saying here. So let me make a last-minute appeal to Republican senators who care about America's future, if there are any left. Arch sarcasm there.
Yeah.
Don't do this. A vote for Kavanaugh will be a vote to destroy the legitimacy of one of the last federal institutions standing. And the headline of his piece was, Kavanaugh kills the Constitution. Have at it.
Yes, Mr. Krugman has had a really good track record of being wrong. And he's wrong here. He's the one who also, I guess, he predicted wouldn't there be a stock market crash?
Yes, he did.
Global recession.
A global, I mean, it was...
we'd never recover.
Huge, never recover. So he's consistent. and he's wrong here as well. It's more theatrics. It's to some degree, of course, almost a mass hysteria. But at least we know who not to listen to and take seriously. And Mr. Krugman is one of those people.
A headline like that. Kavanuagh will kill the Constitution.
It's just extraordinary.
It's really ridiculous.
There's also some ads with women saying, we're going to die, you're going to kill me personally if you vote for Krugman. There's so many serious issues we can discuss that really do have an impact that a Supreme Court justice could influence. The Democrats have just really gone off the edge here.
I think you used the word theatrics a moment ago.
A little bit, yeah.
OK, well, theatrics from Senator Cory Booker at the Kavanuagh hearing yesterday. Oh, roll that tape.
If Senator Cornyn believes that I violated Senate rules, I openly invite and accept the consequences of my team releasing that email right now. This is about the closest I'll probably ever have in my life to an I am Spartacus moment.
Ah, the Spartacus moment. Well, it was a farce. And the man said he was going to release these documents which were secret. They weren't secret. They'd been released to him the night before.
Yes, exactly. And look, you never call yourself Spartacus or an iconoclast. Other people call you that. You don't do it. Maybe he should host the Oscars next year in February. That was a performance. It was insulting. And frankly, Republicans should have called him out at the time saying, wait, but those have already been approved to be cleared. But that's what we've all learned now. And this is what the Democrats offer. They offer theater. They offer dog and pony shows and bread and circuses. Americans deserve better. We're finding out that we can get better. But that's classic what the Democrats offer.
I sense you enjoyed yourself this morning. I think you really got into it and you loved it.
Yeah. As long as but at least there's enough coverage now where the American people know who's trying to gaslight them. Mr. Booker is one of them.
Got it. Tammy, you're all right. Thanks for joining us.
It's easy with the news these days.
It just falls into your lap, doesn't it?